Hello you all, welcome back to my channel. This is Sheba and I'm on here to share with you all some more mixed media art journaling cards I created. But before I get started, I hope that you're all having yourself a great day. And as always, I'd like to thank my new and my existing subscribers for coming over to my channel and watching my videos. So I thank you all so much for that. So you guys, I've been having a lot of fun. As I keep saying in many of my videos, I'm new at mixed media and I've been having a lot of fun just creating and just trying different techniques and just trying to see what I can come up with. So I hope that you all enjoy what I come on here to share with you all today. I really like the way these came out and I hope that you all like them as well. So I did use some, for the first journaling card, I did use some Distress Oxide and Black Soot. And I also used some Wilted Violet. And I also did use some Kiss Flamingo as well. I put my Kiss Flamingo Oxide up already, but I did use some of that, just a little bit. And then this stamp right here is from Tuesday Morning. It's Dina Wakley stamp. It's called Figure. And I just used some of the sentiments in here. It says like, stretch your stuff. She decided she was worth it. Be fabulous. She is unstoppable. You radiate beauty. You radiate beauty. And then you are styling. And then this one is she believed she could, so she did. So I just used some of the sentiments on here for my cards. I didn't use the stamps here. And then I also used, on my first card, I did use the Ledger Script CMS 241. This is from Stampers Anonymous, Tim Holtz. And I didn't mention, but I mentioned in the previous video that these came from Tuesday Morning. So all three of these came from Tuesday Morning. So I had purchased these because, I mean, look at the prices. $1.99, $1.99, $3.99. And I was not into mixed media at all when I purchased these, but I thought, what a good price. And I thought when I purchased them that I was going to be using them, but of course I was intimidated by mixed media, and I knew that I wanted to use them for mixed media, but I was not really into mixed media at that time, if that makes sense. So now that I am, I'm glad I still have these items. I'm glad I purchased them, and now they are coming in use for me in my mixed media. So yeah, so I did use, let me show you this first. So I did use this stencil, which is halftone. So I used a little bit of that. And then I use this stencil right here. It's by Andy Skinner as well, just like this one. And this is called Hippie Chick Stencil and Mask. But I just use a stencil. So I'm going to share, I know you can't really see it in the packaging, but I'm going to share with you all the way that card came out. So let's see. So this first card, and here's the first card. So I love the way this turned out. You know, I just like the kind of like grunginess of it. I like the background. So I did some, so what I did first, I took the stencil and I laid the stencil down. Then I took some Black Soot Oxide and I went inside the stencil with the Black Soot. And then I took some translucent, I always forget the name, you guys. Translucent texture paste, sparkle, translucent. So I took that once I did the stencil with the Black Soot, and then I went on top of it with the texture paste, so that's where you can see this little sparkle. And then once that dried, I did go around it like with my Posca pen and white, paint pen and white, so you can see some of the white shadow around her, but I did do that. And then but before I did the Posca pen, I did dip in Black Soot, Wilted Violet, and a little Kiss Flamingo. I just did some dipping in the ink to get, you know, to where I wanted it to be. And then I also did the Ledger Script stamp. I did a little stamping on that. And then I took the Andy Skinner halftone stamp and I did a little stamping of the little black circle that you see there. And then this is the sentiment from that Dina Wakley stamp. I put, she decided she was worth it, stretch her stuff. So that is this card. And then I just did this distressing with the Black Soot around the border and also around the words. So that is this card. And then also I did also use some distress spritz and wilted violet. So I don't know if you can see the shimmer in there or not, but I did that as well. So that is the first card. Let me just slide this over. Okay, let me make some room because I got a lot of stuff on my desk, you guys. Okay, first card. Then the second card I did use this stencil, which is THMM121. So I just use this stencil right here. And then I also use this stencil, which is THS149. So I just use different parts of that stencil. And then I used this Andy Skinner stencil and mask, and I use this one right here, so you'll see the full image once I show it to you. And then I use the stress spritz and picked raspberry. I also use peacock feathers, and then I also use a distress oxide and picked raspberry, and also in the peacock feathers. So here is the second card that I created. So this card right here, I did the same thing pretty much that I did to her. So I, put the stencil down, the black soot, did the stenciling. Then I went with the textured paste sparkle translucent and put that on top so you can see the shine on her. And then once that dried, I went in with the sprays and I sprayed the peacock at the top and then the picked raspberry at the bottom. And then I just did a little, some more spraying just to kind of make everything blend. And then I went with the stencil, this stencil right here. And I just did a little stenciling in each corner. And then I did the same thing with this stencil in each corner. And then I did use the spritz and did some spritzing on it. And the picked raspberry and the peacock feathers. If you can see the shimmer. And then here's some more of the sentiments from that stamp set. You radiate beauty, you are styling. And that is that journaling card. So these are my 2 cards I created. I didn't know where I was going to go with these. I put the stencil down. I was like, okay, now what's next? But this is how it came out. And I love the way they turned out. So I hope that you all enjoyed them as well as much as I enjoyed creating them. I do want to thank you all so much for watching. You all have yourself a blessed day. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.